Hey guys, how's it going? August 5th, 2021. Yeah, I was going to do this last night, but I didn't bother, so might as well do it now. Um, Everything working okay? I take it everything's working okay. Looks like it is. Um, don't know. I guess we'll find out later. But, yeah, so, I had one more, little trip that I took, and it's kind of reflective of it's not going to get any better than this type thing. That's the that's the one thing that I often draw to. If something's not going to get any better than this, why do it? And that's kind of what I came to the conclusion with Train Sim World 2 the other day. I It was kind of weird. I don't know if it was because I was tired or maybe I had done a little bit too much, but it has been just right at the 1 week mark now. I haven't been, and I haven't done it. I didn't do it yesterday. I did it the night before, and I realized after that night that I think I'm pretty much done. I was going to wait and see how I felt the next day, but I was already feeling it the night prior to that when I was having a run where I was actually dozy and there was absolutely no trains on. The switching activities or whatever are pretty pointless. At least I feel that way. I mean, it's just you're following. Once you've done it, it's there's nothing to it. Not to mention they're ridiculous. I got no problem following instructions, or following a conductor and saying how far away you are and all that other stuff. But when you're taking stuff out of the lead or out of one track to go to another, and you have to go, you're basically like I was kind of coin phrasing it, is it's like follow the bouncing ball. If you don't know what that is, it's basically sing along shows or whatever, kids sing along shows where you just follow the bouncing balls so you know what to sing. I guess karaoke too does it, but no, it was so I thought, yeah, but the main lines are going to be cool, and it seemed like the schedule was kind of a cool concept, and I thought, yeah, I got plenty of trains, so I had plenty of activities to go through. I barely touched them, and it was just between that and walking around and fixing signs or something like that. I kind of stumbled upon that the other day. I'm like, what the hell? They didn't even say anything about that, although they have said it in the promotional video for it. And I was wondering if that was coming up into an activity. Maybe it is. I don't know. I couldn't even get past chapter 1 because all these switching activities. I was just like, okay, I'm done with this. So, like I said the other day, it's got a lot of potential, but I'm it was starting to grow on me, and then it got old real quick. So, it's just one of those things, and it's kind of interesting. I titled this "All Good Things," and basically the saying is all good things must come to an end. Well, that was it. Once it doesn't get any better than that, that's it. Um, you either get better, or it becomes better, or it doesn't. I mean, it sounds kind of logical and stupid, I guess, but it's true. It's either going to get better or it's not. It ain't going to change by just sitting there and pretending it's better. And that's kind of where I was feeling, and I was just like, ugh, here we go again. And that's the top off. Now it's really weird because I got out of the zone with American Truck Simulator, and I was in it. Before all this, I was perfectly content with doing American Truck Simulator, and it kind of, once it leaves the memory for a bit, suddenly you forget what it's like. At least for me, and I hadn't played it in about a week, and I've kind of lost that hunger for playing American Truck Simulator suddenly, which may not be a bad thing because I think I need to start getting serious, or I got two choices. I either try to find that good stuff and just go back to trying to find something that just I was happy with, which was American Truck Simulator, or I focus on things that I really need to get done to not only accomplish some goals of mine that I've had for some time, because it's downright depressing, I think. I mean, I'm not depressed, but it's just depressing. And there's a lot of things going on right now in my own life that suddenly I think it's more important than ever that I start developing something, which puts a lot of pressure on me, because I'm putting a lot of pressure on me, but I tend to do that. And one of the things I'm not going to get too much into this conversation, so don't tune out. Like, if you think I'm going to start talking about things that you agree or don't agree with, I'm not. I'm just going to say this, okay? Right now, my job, other than being bored as hell today, it's been great lately, but I see a change coming. I can tell it's coming, and it isn't going to come from the employment or anything like that. Now, part of my job was to go over to the United States. We are considered an essential business, so that's fine. I've never really had a problem going over to the United States. I haven't been over the United States in a year and a half. The last time I went over was for my work, and that's just a daily pickup run of picking up machinery shipments to our U.S. Warehouse. It just saves a little money as opposed to shipping into Canada, and we did our own clearing and all that other stuff, which I also do. So I like doing that stuff. But regardless, with things that were looking to, it looked like things we were getting, changing this curve. Like right now in Canada, I mean, the rates are ridiculously low compared to the United States, where things are getting a little hairy again, and people are starting to freak out. You talk about Delta and all this other crap, but whatever. I don't want to get into a discussion about COVID. I really don't. All I can say is this. One thing, whether you're for vaccines or you're not, I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. That's your own personal decision. I don't feel as though other people are already controlling your lives, whether or not you know it or not. There are people who, there's things that you cannot control, okay? And it doesn't matter. There's just things you can't control. You can't focus on those things. You cannot focus on the things you can't control. I gotta keep telling myself that. So that's fine. For me personally, number one, I'm not vaccinated. Nor do I plan on being vaccinated. I have my reasons. I'll just say that. My son is not vaccinated. He's 12. He's 13 now, and he doesn't want to be vaccinated. And other than that, that's our decision. That's our right. That's our own personal decision. It's not about health of well-being of others and all that other garbage that they want to guilt trip you on. It has nothing to do with that. But what's going on now is with all these variants and all this other crap, that, not to mention the flu season's coming up. I mean, it's just around the corner. Once that hits, I expect things to get really shitty again. So once that happens, I feel as though either two things are going to happen. Number one, my employer is going to pull the plug on it and go back to the way things were, which was what we've been doing for the last year and a half, or they're going to start up with these vaccinated passport things where they're already pushing it in nightclubs and all these other places. Doesn't matter if you have natural immune deficiency or not. They don't care. If you're not vaccinated, you can't do this. You can't do that. You can't go on flights. They started with flights, and now they're starting with live events and all this other crap. It's like there's so many things that I can't be a part of society because of my choice whether or not to vaccinate, which I think is ludicrous, but whatever. I'm not going to worry about that. I can't control that. It is what it is. If I feel it's that important, I go get vaccinated. That's all there is to it. And the truth of the matter is, I don't care. But now I'm coming to a head where I got a weird feeling this is going to impact my job. Possibly my job security. And I don't know the legal ramifications of all of this or what, but it's nice to have a residual income, put it that way. And I always wanted one in the past, but I kind of lacked off of it because I was just having fun. I didn't care anymore. I was fine. Now I'm back towards it. I'm starting to think of it. The problem is I'm banging my head against the wall with certain programming, so with languages and stuff like that, and trying to figure out if this is what I want to do, and the good thing is I'm getting ideas. I'm getting other ideas, and I'm so hopefully I can get ahead with that. It's just now I'm putting extra pressure on myself to come up with something. And I already have a bunch of ideas. I have a lot of things that I want to do. The problem is trying to come out. I look at some of the programming right now, and it's like, it is absolutely crazy. It just boggles my mind. I'm on medication for seizure, epileptic-like seizures. I'm not epileptic, but I have. I think I've mentioned this before. I've had past concussions when I was a child that, ever since I was 8, started to cause irregular brain waves on the left side of my brain. This affects, then I had to take medication for it. I've been on medication most of my life for it. Whenever I got off the medication, I was fine for a while, and then a few years later, all of a sudden I'd have a seizure. And they're always nocturnal seizures. They don't happen during the day. So, and that's the goofy thing is because I'm down here by myself, who knows when I have a seizure. I have an idea, but just by the way I'm feeling, I feel kind of weird. But other than that, I have a seizure at night. I don't know. If I'm in a weird position or something like that, it could be a dream, could be anything. I don't know. but I don't think I'm having any right now. I think I'm fine, and it can happen even when you're medicated. So my medication was increased a few years back because I had a seizure. So that stuff really, for me personally, yeah, it has different side effects for different people. But for me personally, it gets into the memory functions and the ability to retain information, and it's it doesn't help. So when I see complex formulas, and I'm trying to figure things out. Heck, even just trying to get Blender to work right now is a challenge. So, but yeah, that's where it is with me. Nothing new, nothing old. That's about it. Same old, pretty much. As I said, the other stuff going on, like the other simulators, I mean, a lot of these simulators have a lot of potential. I posted a thing on the forum. It seems like a lot of people are happy with Run 8 the way it is. They're looking forward to version 3. They get it. Most people are getting it from that informal poll. So, I mean, and the reason why I kind of put that one out there was I was curious what would happen when version 3 goes up, how many people are getting it. Because would everybody just switch over to version 3? And if so, would there be any demand for version 2 and a version 2 server? So if that's the case, I may be able to supply that option. I don't know if I would or not, and honestly, I don't know how popular it would be, and really at this point, I'd probably think it's irrelevant. The only thing that I'm thinking of is version 3 going to be anything that's worthwhile. And once again, go back to it was as good as it was going to get for me, and this is different for everybody. This is my own personal feeling. The same thing goes for Train Sim. Some people love Train Sim World. I'm not here to discourage anybody who enjoys Train Sim World. If you enjoy it, great. That's cool. For me, that was it. Will I go back to it? It's still on my hard drive. I can go back and finish up some of the other ones. I mean, I saw the last run I had. I saw 5 trains, which was the most I had seen on any other run. It still bored the hell out of me. It was just boring. I can't, the eye candy gets old very, 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 very quick. And especially with no operation, no nothing, it was too much. So I knew it wasn't going to get any better. Run 8, same thing. A few years back, beginning of version 2, that was as good for me as it was going to get. Because things were starting to change. I knew then that things were changing. And there's nothing I can do to change that. You fight it for a while, but you can't fight things that you can't fight the winds of change. Change is going to happen. You either adapt and do something else, or decide that it doesn't have to be the best. It can still be good, and you can still be enjoying it and not dwell on it. But if it's to a point where all the potential was there and you still had potential and then just boom, it falls off. Okay, well, we got potential for Train Sim World 2. We got potential for things to happen. That don't mean shit, really. Potential has to be something that people care about, and if I'm part of the minority, or I don't think I am actually, which is kind of interesting. Run 8, I think I am. I think I'm part of the minority when it comes to Run 8. A lot of people like Run 8 the way it is. I don't know the difference. Other than the fact that there's the physics, I really don't understand the difference between single player Run 8 going back and forth and not feeling the same way, other than at single track rail lines, at least in California, Mojave or various places. But there you don't even have activities to follow. So it's like, and yeah, you can play some multiplayer, but most of the people who still like it are those that like single player. I don't get it. I don't need to get it. I mean, that's, as long as they're happy, that's cool. But like I said, I still feel as though I'm the minority in that criticism. But that's just the way I am. That's just the way I feel. But anyways, forget about the past now. Let's get that out of the way. I bring it up too much. But I keep comparing it because it's the same thing. It's basically the same thing that's happened. So what new things have I been working? I've been really trying to focus potentially on some type of Yardmaster simulation. Is the latest that I'm looking at. I could go a two-pronged approach where on one way I can work on the text base, which I know I can establish the logic, and I could possibly even get some of the screens and prototype it. And then the other way is to work on the Unity side and also the Blender side. Because I would have, what I would really want to do in this case is I would want to get Blender up to a state where I feel efficient enough to have a bend in rail lines. And the bends are important because track is not just all straight. To be able to put the bends in at appropriate angles, to do it mathematically, it's totally different with the Benzine curves or whatever the heck they're called. Benzene curves, I don't know how to name it. Some mathematical things that just blows my mind. I just don't get it. And I start looking at the formulas of that, and it's like, but at least with, if I can figure out Blender, and I can figure out the bends and all that other stuff, and I'm gonna send a message over to Scott too, because I haven't taught. He's been having some issues, unfortunately, with the noggin. So, but if he's up to it, hopefully he can give me some answers as far as bends, because that's the one I'm looking at now, is to try and figure out curves or bends, and whether or not, be it Unity or 3D Builder, how to get them figured out and set up properly. Because ideally, if I can get, I already have the physics working, because it's right in the game engine. So I can already get it so where I can get a train to move. It's a fairly simple formula. It's only a few lines of code. Of course, it gets much more complicated with trains and the logic and all that other stuff. But that's, again, like I said, that's why I would do the text version first. I might even stick with the text version if it's a fun simulation in the text version. I'll go with it. But ideally, I think what would be really cool is to get into the 3D version, and you're in the yard tower overlooking a major hump facility, and dealing with the hump, dealing with the receiving yards, having everything, basically doing what I was doing back in the day. One of the things I enjoy doing, and I go back to Run 8 again, is because I go back to what I enjoyed and what was really cool, is having a lot of traffic come in and having people who would join the server and trim the yard and do those things. Well, the difference here is it's going to be single player, and the AI is going to do the trimming for you. The AI is going to do the humping for you. The AI is going to build the trains. The AI is going to bring in the trains, stop them, take the power, put them over to the thing. Your job as yardmaster is to make the decisions, line up the switches, and see the forecast of cars that are coming in, and make a plan of action as to the order of how you want things done. You basically in control of the entire yard, and you're basically directing the traffic flow in and out of the yard, and what tasks are going on, crew management, etc. So people come in, they're ready to arrive at your yard. You're able to direct them to a receiving track, or tell them to hold off, or whatever, and departing tracks, giving them authorization to clear, pending any other movements within the yard. So it can be kind of cool in a 3D tower, I think. Just from what I remember, some of my recollections of being in a tower at Barstow, for example, and having traffic coming in and out. And those were some of the good memories I have of Run 8. Like I said, it didn't get any better than those times. And can it get better? Maybe. I can't control that future. It's out of my control. That's all dependent upon what happens with version 3, what happens where the program goes, and maybe it's not going in that direction. Maybe they're going in a different direction. I can't control that. And unfortunately, because, and I'm still talking about this, unfortunately, because unfortunately, because it's so multiplayer reliant, it's not something that they did necessarily. It's unfortunately a reaction to what was being done, that by increasing all the territory, it spread things too thin, and it meant the little players didn't have a chance, like servers like myself and others. They didn't really have a chance to, and some still do, some still try to figure it out, do their thing and whatever, but I grow tired of all of it, really, to be honest. So but things like that happen. You can't blame a company wanting to make money, expanding their territories and that, but I have had suggestions. But anyways, I don't want to dwell on that. That's the past as far as I'm concerned. The future that I can control is what I can create, and that's the only thing that I have the power to do so, or I have the power to just enjoy myself and try not to worry about the real world issues that are going on, and focus on an American Truck Simulator, or possibly focus on another train game if it comes out, or any game for that matter. It could be any game. There's a lot of good games out there to keep keep your spirits high, and not worry about the real world or all the issues in it. So it is what it is. Otherwise, I've been fine. Work's been fine. Everything's good. The weekends, been doing rail fanning, what have you. Had a little bit of flying. Haven't really. Flying hasn't been as important as it once was, which is kind of weird. Ever since I got the second drone, I noticed that. But I still like to fly. I don't find it important to take videos of everything, and as much as I was following Niagara, it's not as important. I was in Toronto this past weekend, so that was fun. Was it this past weekend? Am I getting my days confused? It was, we just got that holiday weekend we just passed. I'm really confused now, because I'm like, I'm losing track of days. Tomorrow's Friday, but it seems like a Thursday. But yeah, okay. So Monday was a holiday. So yeah, on Sunday I was in Toronto, and that was cool. That kind of got the juices flowing as far as ideas, as far as doing something with a hump and whatever. I didn't really view too much of it, but just seeing all the action coming in and out of that place is just crazy. It's fun. It's a fun thing to come and visit, and it's a fun thing to go down there. I mean, to see it. And I got a little bit of. No, I didn't take the drone out that day when I was there. The weather I don't think was didn't look too good. So, but anyways, I might end this now. I'm just rambling on, but I just wanted to let you guys know what was happening. So, but you may not see some videos for a while again. I might bugger off for a little bit and focus on some things and see what happens. Just take a low profile for a while, and everything's cool. I'm still on the forums like Train Sim or whatever. I'm on my forum, although I'm not on that much, and nothing's happening there anyways, so it doesn't really matter. But I'm active on Train Sim, so that's the one place if you want to find me. That's where I'm at. Of course, you can post on my forum at any time. The links are in my description. And who knows, I might post the odd stuff there. I might even post on Twitter now and then, but I haven't seen had the need to do it too much lately. But other than that, I'm just kind of rehashing. I'm back at square one, and I have to figure things out again. It kind of sucks because I was kind of hoping, especially when I didn't have much faith in it to begin with, and then suddenly it started growing on me, and then all of a sudden I lost it. It was just like, no, this is boring as hell. It's putting me to sleep. So it wasn't fun. But back to the drawing board. Anyways, guys, have a good one. We'll talk to you later.